So shall we make a start then? Shall we get cracking with this? I think so. Right, okay. So, like I said, it's all in standing. You don't need anything special to do this. Don't really need a mat, so because I've already got mine out that I'm standing on mine. So what we're going to do first of all is we're going to stand up nice and tall because we want to make sure that we're exercising with good posture. So we want to stand up as tall as we can. Now I've got my feet about hip width. And I'm just going to soften my knees a little bit. We don't want to work out with super straight legs, so just a little bit of softness at the knees. And then I just want you to feel like you're standing up as tall as you possibly can. But without doing this, okay? Because sometimes I see people do this. I'm standing up nice and tall. Can you see that my chest has just gone straight down? I'll pull my shoulders back. We don't want that sort of posture. We want it to be more like this. Can you see? So I've got sort of my ribs sitting over the hips, my shoulders sitting over the ribs. Does that make sense? Okay, so we're nicely lengthened, nice and tall through the body without exaggerating it. Okay, so that's the posture that we want. Okay, and I want you to look straight ahead. And I want you to think about your neck as well for a second. So imagine you've got a thread on the top of your head and someone's got hold of that thread and they're pulling. And as they pull, your neck is lengthening. So you're getting even more space between your ears and your shoulder. Okay, so they're pulling you up from the top of your head there. You feel like your neck is lengthening. It's nice and long now. Okay. So you've got your head and your neck in a nice position as well. Wonderful. So now we're standing up nice and tall. Let's start warming up. We're going to start at the top. We're going to start with the shoulders. So let's start with something easy. We're just going to do some nice shoulder rolls. Okay, now as we do these, I want you to send those shoulders up to the ears as far as you can. Okay, now on all of the exercises that we're going to be doing this morning, it's important that you don't force the movements. Okay, so you should only work within your own range of movement. Okay, so if you can't move as far as I can on some of the exercises, that's okay. Just work to your own ability, what you can do. Don't feel like you've got to match me. Okay, and then we change direction with these shoulders. Okay, so at the moment I'm just trying to make these shoulder circles as big as I can. I'm sending them up to the ears as close as I can, and then letting them fall back down again. That's it. And then we'll relax them down. Now, I've got a nice little exercise that I find just helps to keep those shoulders down a little bit. Some shoulder shrugs. So we're going to shrug the shoulders to the ears, and then you're going to slowly press the shoulders away. You press the shoulders away, and then think about that thread again, pulling you up, lengthening out the neck as you push the shoulders away. Then we do it again. So we shrug the shoulders up, and then we push the shoulders away. And again, shrug them up and then press them away. So we're working through the shoulder joint again. But also this makes us aware of where our shoulders sit. Because if we hold a lot of tension around the neck and the shoulders, we can often hold the shoulders up around our ears. And we want to just remind ourselves of how much those shoulders will actually come down. So we'll make this our last one. Relax them down. So mine are nicely relaxed. Hope yours are as well. I want you to just be aware of where they're sitting. Imagine you've got a bag of sugar on each shoulder now, weighing those shoulders down. We don't want it to come back up again. Okay. Let's do some movement with the arms. So still focusing on the shoulders a little bit, some little arm floats. So this time we're just going to float the arms up to shoulder height and then float them back down. And the whole time, I've got those bags of sugar still sitting on my shoulders, keeping them down nicely, because that's keeping our shoulders in the correct position. They're correctly aligned. Okay. Wonderful. That's it. So nice and steady, nice and gentle with the arms, floating them up and down. Breathing out. And breathing in, nice and steady. I find this move really relaxing, especially if you do it with the breathing. Wonderful. Okay, relax the arms down. Let's do one more for the arms, shall we? Make sure the shoulders are down, bags of sugar are still there. Take one hand and put it on the opposite shoulder. Now we're going to float the arm out to the side. So it's going out to the side this time rather than in front. So my hand is coming up to shoulder height roughly, and then we're going to float it back down. The hand is on your shoulder. It's like your bag of sugar. It's reminding you to keep that shoulder down. Okay. If you can't get the arm up this height, that's okay. You can have it a little bit lower. Remember to work within your own range. Now, visualize your arm. Visualize your arm as a bird's wing. And as you float that arm up, he's opening out his wings, showing off all his feathers. And then you float the arm back down as the wing closes. So we float the arm up. So it should feel nice and light, the arm. We don't want it to feel heavy, just nice and light. That's it. Wonderful. Okay, should we swap and do it on the other side? So we'll swap the arms over. Let's go again. So we're going to breathe out. We're going to float the arm up and then float it back down. So again, imagine that bird's wing opening, showing off all his feathers again. So nice and light with the arm. Keeping those shoulders down. Still standing up nice and tall. Wonderful. Should we do it one more time? Here we go. Floating the arm up and back down. Wonderful. Let's relax those arms. Shall we have a little change this time? So that was a few little exercises for the shoulders. So should we do legs? Let's do legs next, shall we? Let's have the hands on the hips. We'll start with the feet, actually. We'll work our way up this time. So we're going to start with the feet. Let's work the ankles and the feet. See how much movement we can get through the ankle joint. So what we're going to do is we're going to do some little foot pedals. We're going to do them nice and slowly. So what you're going to do is you're going to lift one heel up off the mat and then lower it back down again. Then you're going to lift the other one up and then lower it back down. Okay, so nice and steady. So alternating between the feet. So you're pushing up onto the ball of the foot. And you want to push up as high as you can. But again, don't force it. Just work within your own range. Okay. So we're mobilizing the ankle a little bit. But the knee's working a bit as well because it's bending. And we've got some movement through the hip as well. Okay. But this one is really an exercise for the ankles just to get that movement going. Now, feel a bit wobbly on this one. Okay. You can always hold on to something. Okay. Hold on to a chair. If you're doing this in the kitchen with me, hold on to the worktop. Anything that will just steady you a little bit. Okay, here we go. Here's our last one. And then we can finish with the feet flat. We'll keep the hands where they are. We're going to do some little knee bends. Now, I know people have lots of trouble with the knees, okay? So as I've been saying all last week during arthritis, during the arthritis week, the exercising won't actually harm your joints and make things worse. Yes, if you're not used to exercising, you haven't done any for a while, you may well feel it's a bit later on that day or the next day things might feel a little bit stiff, but it generally won't harm the joints. It's actually beneficial for your joints to keep them moving. So if you go into your knee bends now, if knees are an issue for you, just do little ones. I'm going to just do little ones this morning. I've been on holiday. I've had a week off, so I'm just going to get myself back into it gently. So I'm just going to do nice little knee bends. So a little bend, everybody should be able to manage that. I haven't had anyone who hasn't been able to do a little bend, but keep it nice and small. Nice and small. What we're trying to do is warm the joint up. The joint in the knee has got some fluid in it. Okay, the fluid is there to lubricate the joint. The more you move it, okay, even if it's only a little bit like we're doing now, you're encouraging more of that fluid to be produced into the knee. So it stops any friction, it makes things feel like they can move easier. It's a bit like oiling the hinges on that creaky door. You squeeze a bit of oil on there, okay, and then all of a sudden the creaking stops. It's easier to open and shut. It's a bit like that, okay. We'll do one more. Okay, so that's for the knees. Hips. We're going to do a little bit of rotation for the hips, okay, so something a little bit different. So we lifted the heel up before, didn't we, as we were doing our foot pedals, so we're going to do that again, okay. So you're going to lift the heel, push up onto the ball of the foot. I think I'll have my hands here again, okay. Now, on this one, you probably could feel your hip bones at the front here. Make sure they are pointing forwards. Try not to let them move around like that on this one. Keep them pointing forward as much as you can. What I want you to do is I want you to send the knee out to the side. But again, don't force it, okay? Just send it out as far as you can and then bring it back in, okay? And then we do it again. So we send it out to the side and then we bring it back in. Now, most of my weight is going through that supporting leg. I've just got a little bit of pressure through the ball of the foot on this leg, just so that I can swivel a little bit easier, okay? So hips are a problem for a lot of people. They find that as they get a bit older, they lose the suppleness through their hips. Just sitting comfortably on the floor it can be quite uncomfortable sometimes, because sometimes you don't know how to sit. You haven't got enough movement through the hips to be able to sit comfortably. So if you feel like you've got quite a lot of restriction in this area through the hip, then that's okay. Just work within your own range of movement. This isn't something we do on a daily basis, is it? How often do we do this move? Okay, so it may feel like you haven't got much movement. Of course, that sometimes is the problem. We've had to switch to the other side, haven't we? It's because we don't take the body through all the different planes of movement that it can go through, and then we get stiff and things tighten up in that one plane of movement. So this rotation can be quite tricky for some people. Okay, but sort of another if you do another exercise that moves the hip in a different way, they might find that easier. Okay, so it's just taking the body through all these different ways that you can move a joint, just to keep it nice and supple, keep it moving. Okay, so I'll just do a couple more. Keep the hip bones pointing forwards, remember, hands on the hips, still standing up nice and tall. That's it, wonderful. Okay, feet are flat. What's next? We're going to do the spine. Okay, so spine, lower back, middle of the back, that sort of area. Let's work on that a little bit, shall we? Okay, so you may find more stiffness here. I get less people with arthritis in their spines, but a lot of people get a lot of stiffness. So we'll work on loosening things up a little bit in the back as well. I think we'll start with this one actually. So we've got the arms down. So we've got the knees a little soft. You're standing up nice and tall. And what I want you to do is I just want you to very gently just slide one hand down your leg. Now don't go too far. Okay, just go a little way. If you feel any pulling here, then that's far enough. Come all the way back up. Then we do it the other way. So we just flex over to the side. So we're loosening up sort of into the waist. Okay, a little bit, because that's an area for a lot of people that gets quite stiff. Okay, so it's not only mobilizing and loosening up, it's giving us a nice little stretch as well into the waist, which feels quite nice actually. So we'll do it again, and then we'll come back up, and then we'll go the other way. That's it. Wonderful. Now, I love to do a bit of rotation. So it's all like that twisting action. So we're going to do that through the spine. I'll do a nice easy one with you this morning. Now, again, it's one of these exercises where you've got to have the hip bones pointing forwards the whole time, ideally. So again, we don't want to move the hip bones. Okay, keep them pointing forwards. We're going to have the arms out in front. Can you see I'm doing thumbs up? Okay, I've got thumbs up. So what we're going to do is you're going to look at one thumb, and then you're going to send the arm round to the side as far as it will go. Okay, keep looking at that thumb, and then when you can't go any further, bring it all the way back. So you've got your hip bones pointing forwards so that your pelvis is fixed, and then it just helps to create a little bit of a rotation into the middle of the back. Okay, and this is one of the easy ones that you can do. Okay, and then we bring it back again. So just watch the shoulders. Check you've still got a bag of sugar on each shoulder. That's it, and then we bring the arms back. Shall we just do a couple more? One on each arm. Here we go. So again, don't force the movements. Just move as far as feels comfortable. That's it, and then we'll bring the arms back, and then we'll lower them down. Wonderful. Okay, so we've worked different parts of the body. We've done shoulders, we've done ankles, knees, hips, we've done the spine. That's pretty much everything, isn't it? So let's finish off by putting some moves together. Let's do some big arm movements. So working the shoulders, working the arms again. So this time we're going to take the arms up to the ceiling, and you're going to float them down to the side. Okay, and then we're going to do it again. So I'm taking my arms right up. I'm trying to get my arms by my ears. Okay, that's ideally where I want to get them. But again, don't force the movement. Can't get your arms up that far, it doesn't matter. Just make that circle as big as you can. It should feel comfortable to do it. Okay, so this is our last one. Now, you know the little arm floats that we did? Okay, let's add in some of those. So we did an arm float to the front, didn't we? Okay, and we'll do it again. Arm float to the front. Oh, let's put it all together. Let's do that big arm circle again. So we'll go all the way to the ceiling. We'll circle the arms down, and then we'll float them up in front and lower. And we'll do that again. So we'll do the big arm circle, and then we'll do the little arm float. Now we're going to add in the legs again on the next one. Those little knee bends that we did. Okay, we're going to add in those in a second. So here we go. We're going to float the arms. You're going to bend the knees just a little. So you put those two together, and then we do our big arm circles again. So you reach up and you circle them down. Bend the knees and float the arms and stand up tall. So you can see from all of the exercises we've done this morning, they are nice and basic. They are nice and simple. But I find for a lot of people that's all they need. I always find that the most basic exercises are the most powerful sometimes. They give you the most benefit. So we'll do it one more time. We'll go down to the knees, we'll float the arms and stand up tall, and then we'll give the arms and the legs a little shake. Okay, so as I said, I often find that the basic exercises, similar to what we've done today, are the most beneficial for a lot of people, especially when they're first starting out. If they haven't exercised for a while, or if you've got aches and pains from arthritis or anything else, the basics are really important. And sometimes people look at those basics and they think, well, that's just too easy. I can manage a bit more than that. But it's not about doing the exercises that are more challenging. You need to start with those basics. Yes, there have been great mobility exercises today, but if you want to join me on Tuesday where we come down to the mat, I'm also going to explain a little bit on positioning, because we need to be nicely supported through the center of the body. We need to get these core abdominal muscles working as well, so that you are more supported while the arms and the legs are moving. So that's another important factor as well, which I haven't touched on this morning. But so one more thing I just wanted to just mention before I leave you, just really quickly. You'll notice during Arthritis Week and this week, I've been popping details in about the Elements Pilates Programme. So this programme is specifically designed for women who are maybe completely new to Pilates, have got some aches and pains, which may be caused by arthritis, or you may have other health concerns, and you want to learn Pilates properly from the beginning, understand all the basics, understand how to engage those core abdominal muscles properly, and work steadily like we've done today, so that you don't do exercises that are going to make matters feel worse. I've had quite a few people who've been in touch and asked me about it, and quite a few people have said they're sort of interested, but they can't do the live sessions. Okay, let me just explain. There is a mixture of live sessions and recorded sessions, but I'll try to do it in a way where it's as flexible as possible for you. So the bulk of the program is already recorded. So if you wanted to, you could just work through that. But I've included some live sessions as well, because that is when people really start to get the most out of doing Pilates. It's an 8-week course. During the 8 weeks, you get 4 one-to-one sessions with me. That's a chat just to see how you're getting on. Most people like to do that on the phone, but we can do it on Zoom if you want to, just to have a chat, find out if you're having any issues. And then during the 8 weeks, we do 4 sort of group Zoom sessions. So whoever is on the program at that time, they're all invited to join in that group session. But if you've already identified some areas that are causing you a problem, I also ask before we do the live, is there anything else you want me to cover? Okay, let me know. And then what I will do in that live session, that session is for you to cover those problems, those issues, those adaptations to any exercises that you might need. I will cover them in that session. So even if you can't make it live, I will still help you. You still get the support. I will still answer those questions and problems for you, because everything is recorded. And then straight after we've finished, you get a copy of the recording, so you can watch it in your own time. Okay. And if it's still an issue, if there's still something I haven't quite explained properly, don't quite understand, well, just get in touch with me anytime. I'll tell you how you get in touch with me. and you can just ask me, or we can have another quick chat on the phone, okay? And I can talk you through it if you need a little bit more explaining. So it is the bulk of it is mainly recorded, but you've got the added option, if you like, of coming on those live sessions with me. I only take a small number. I take 5 people every month um, um, on this group program because it's one-to-one as well. So I don't like to have too many. I like to give you as much of my time as I possibly can to help to support you through it. So if you're interested in that, we are due to kick off with another 8-week program on Monday next week. I've only got 2 places left. So if that is something that interests you, drop me a message. You can send me a direct message. You can pop a comment below and I'll get in touch with you. Say, yes, I'm interested in the program. I'll get in touch with you. I can send you more details about it. We can have a little chat initially if you want to over the phone. Make sure it's right for you. I don't want you to do something that isn't suitable for you. So I can tell you that before you start. Okay, get in touch with me, and we can have a little conversation, and we can take things from there. But yeah, there's only 2 slots left. So if you're interested in that, then please get in touch.